Scorpio. This is Mimi with Divination by Mimi Means Tarot. This is for February 1st through the 15th, 2017 for Scorpio. This will be a Celtic cross spread with Cartouche clarifiers and Rune clarifiers as well if needed. Astrologically, there are no planetary activities occurring in your house, not from the 1st to the 15th. The moon enters you at a certain point, but it's not until after the 15th. So no planetary activity within your sign. However, your ruling planets, you have two co-rulers, Mars and Pluto. Pluto is sitting right now with Capricorn, and with that you're feeling that energy of deep investigation and depth. It's being put to practical use at this point in time. So when you're going inward, when you're looking at your shadow work, your motivations for things, Capricorn is sort of shedding a light on, it was ruled by Saturn, on any practical elements you can gain from that knowledge that you've unearthed. On the Mars side, Mars is at home in Aries at the moment, so he's feeling quite energized. So you should feel a combination of that practical, day-to-day, everyday earthly usage of your internal reflection in Capricorn, as well as you should have a revived sense of energy by your other co-ruler, Mars, being at home in Aries. Also in Aries at that time, you will feel the benefits of Venus being present with her man. She's a much more assertive type of Venus when she's in Aries. And also you will feel Uranus in there as well. Uranus is anything can happen, and inside of Aries is anything can happen fast. So keep all that in mind. Although your sign's pretty clear of any kind of squares or detrimental aspects, so that's good news. So that's on the astrological front. Let's get down to the tarot. For you, I am using the original Thoth, well, not the original, but the Thoth deck, and we'll get on with it. Of course, you'll be feeling any kind of emotional pulls from Chiron, the wounded healer, and being in Pisces, a very watery, compassionate, emotional, mutable sign. You are the fixed sign of the fall signs. So you tend to be, when you've made a decision on something, you tend to stick with it. Not a lot of meandering back and forth. When someone has pissed you off, you're done. You're not done making them pay, but you're done with them. And that's totally cool. Your card is the Death card, which is all about transformation. And you are a watery sign, so very, again, gifted with psychic abilities, very empathic, and all that goes with that. So let's see what we need to know, what you're feeling for the 1st through the 15th of February. What you're feeling. What's affecting that? Out of the way. Oops. The foundation for this. What's on your mind. Your recent past. Your near future. How you truly are when you remove the emotional side from it. Your environment or the energies around you, again, when you remove the emotional feelings that you're in right now. Your hopes and your fears and your final outcome. Overall energy, wow. Overall energy is you in the upright position. So transformation, transformation, transformation is on the rise. That's the Death card. That is your card. Yeah. So change is a-coming. Let's see what kind of change you're feeling at the moment. Well, okay, so you've got the Knight of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords is generally a Gemini or a Gemini energy, a dualistic energy. In reverse, it could mean that you're feeling betrayed by that person, by a Gemini, female or male. It could be that you are releasing a Gemini type energy. Let's see what else is here. The energy around this feeling is a lack of power. This is the Four of Pentacles. You got it in reverse, so you're feeling powerless, which is not a good feeling. right now. This is how you're feeling, and this is steeped in emotion, right? Which is not, emotion is important, but emotion is not always a clear indicator of reality, right? Because it's emotion. So we'll find out what the foundation is, but for whatever reason, you feel like you've lost your power somehow. This could be a Gemini that's made you feel this way. They tend to not like to be tied down. If this is a person, they tend to not like to be tied down. But let's learn more about your situation. The foundation for this is the Fool in the upright position. So whatever this feeling is you're having here, this lack of control, is a result of either a Geminian energy or a Gemini, is a result of you moving into something bravely with your whole self. Could be a project, it could be a relationship, but you were there, soul bared, like a child in a sense, not arrogant, but in a sense, and ready to take on anything. This is zero, the truth, the soul, our actual, before we come into Malkuth, before we come into the world, this is the most spiritual card, the true nature of who we are, the beginning, right? Before you're born, your soul. That is the foundation for this feeling. So what's on your mind? Well, on your mind is a Chariot. Chariot's ruled by Cancer. It could be a Cancer. It could be a Cancerian energy. That Cancerian energy could be two things. When it's the Chariot in Major Arcana, that means you're moving. Even though you feel you've lost power somehow here, you want to regain control of this situation. You want to employ the Cancerian power of, I don't want to say manipulation, but the Cancerian power of emotional aptitude, diplomacy, family skills, things like that. Also skills of alluring skills in a way. Like it's like you wanted this person, but they're not being reeled in by what usually is your very alluring self. So you're employing either Cancerian energy or you're taking control of the situation because you feel like you've lost it. Here the foundation is you went in wholeheartedly with open arms and open heart, and now you don't have control, and this is frightening you. Again, this is all emotionally based right now. It may not be that much in reality. On your mind is getting control, getting the reins back on this vehicle that you've lost control, and you do not like to be out of control. Know that. Remember, the overall energy is you, so this is about you. Recent past, the Sun. Okay. So the Sun, the Hebrew letter attribution is Resh, which is face. This is basically you, yourself, how you express yourself. And it looks as though this is not so much to do with the relationship in the past. This is about you expressing yourself creatively to the rest of the world, showing what you are, what you have, who you are. Also, you have a place in this card as well. The Sun shows the fixed signs in very much the same way. Well, actually, the Sun shows the mutable signs and the cardinal signs and the fixed signs, all the signs. And you show up here in the upper right-hand corner as Scorpio. So you're present on this card as well. So, I don't know that that was relevant, what I just said. The fact that your picture's on here with all the other signs. But what I do think is this in the past was you expressing yourself personally, as a person, not in a relationship of any kind. This personal expression, whether it's artistic expression or creative expression or business expression, career expression, or romantic expression, has been affected in some way here because you went into it with your whole heart open. There's a party that's Gemini or a Gemini influence that's made you feel like you've lost control and you're trying to get the reins back. That's what's on your mind, is getting control back so you can get back to this glorious place. In the near future, we have pleasure. That's the Six of Cups upright. This is a good card. This is about, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, this kind of points to things like family. But this card is actually ruled by you and the Sun. This is your card with the Sun. So this is you really in your element. This is you fully shining. So whatever control you think you've lost here because you bared your soul, because you went in fully without any reservation, I think it's all in your mind. you go ahead and you make your efforts to get back in control what you think you've lost, but I don't think that you have. I think this is fully your elements in sun, which is glorious. Here's the sun in your past. This is all quite good, and it's all your energy. This is all you. Transformation, creativity, time of the side there, change, harvesting, transmuting one thing to another. Let's see what's going on here, how you really are. So, in your mind, and I think this is a fear that you have, the Nine of Cups is what you got, but you got it in reverse. The Nine of Cups upright is happiness. In reverse, it's like a fear that happiness is not going to be there. There's a constant fear that you're going to lose the joy that you've created. I don't know whether it's because of a concern over sharing it with other people, or a concern because you bared your soul here. But this is truly the situation. Although you feel like you're out of control, it really feels like you have a fear of loss of love, loss of happiness. Now the energy around you, what's actually supporting you, your environment, is the Ace of Swords, which is a good card. This is the root of everything intelligent, the root of communication, the root of travel, the root of new beginnings. Creative endeavors, intellectual endeavors, whatever they are. It could be the beginnings of the idea of a new book, the beginnings of the idea of a new play, the beginnings of a new painting, the beginnings of a new business that you're thinking of. So the reality of your environment is actually very supportive. The resource for newness, for creation, to get you back in control of creating and being yourself again, is the Ace of Swords, which means you're sitting pretty, from what I can see. But you've got to get out of your own head here, a fear of loss of control. Just because you put yourself on the line, it does not always mean someone's going to take advantage, and that's what you're thinking here, and what you're really thinking here. I don't know what the Gemini is. Maybe we'll find out more. Your hopes and fears are prudence. And I think that's a reasonable hope and fear. You may not like to count coin, and you may not like to organize things and get things in a row, placing value on something that's heartfelt and creative in such a minute way as seems the antithesis of creativity in a way. But it is necessary. Now, you don't want to be nitpicky. You don't want to be a miser about things. And this can be, in reverse, it can be a miser, or somebody who's nitpicking things way too much. However, you got it in the upright position, which basically tells me that you have a fear of prudence. Okay, this is the sun with Virgo, excuse me. This is the sun in Virgo. So, maybe you have a fear of this kind of organization, but I think that it is something that you need to employ to make sure that this new opportunity here that you're afraid doesn't exist, that fear you've lost control over, that prudence that you seem to dislike so much is just what you need to ensure that you maintain control. It's not being anal retentive, it's being on top of things. And it's not very creative, it's not very sexy, it's not very romantic, but it is part of the process of bringing beauty to fruition. And that's maybe the reins that you need to get back control over, if this is a project. Now the final outcome is abundance in reverse. So the Three of Cups in reverse. And that's not very positive, so we'll get some clarification on that. That could be that there's a lesson that needs to be learned here. Now this is malleable as you are malleable, so that means that this is advice, this is information, this is not written in stone, which means you have control over this. The only things you don't have control over is the past, what you've already invested, which is beautiful. I don't think you should ever change this. What the control you're trying to gain back in your nature, because they're all major arcana. Everything else is within your control to change or to fuck up. So let's see what the Cartouche says. Let's get some clarification on the final outcome of the abundance in reverse to see why. And what's up with the Gemini? Let's try to get you happy again. Have some confidence in the process. Gemini and energy, perhaps that's a back and forth that you're doing with yourself, or a duality, you're at odds with yourself on something, making you feel a loss of power, questioning what you've done here, but don't question that. That's beautiful. Maybe scary, but it's beautiful. All right, so why are you unhappy? That's the scarab, and you got him in reverse. In reverse, it means you are ignoring the opportunities for renewed energy. The scarab basically is Kefra, the god. He is the one that takes Ra, the sun, at night when the sun sets. This type of beetle, the scarab beetle, actually can burrow very, very deeply, a very strong beetle, and still find its way up. And you'll always see it depicted in Egyptian artwork as holding a large red disc. Some believe it's the sun, some believe it's Saturn. It doesn't matter. It's basically about transmuting. It means it's about recovering from something, emerging from something. And in the sadness here, this unhappiness that you're feeling because of whatever it is you feel you've lost control of here, it's you not employing your very nature, the side there, change, transformation. And that's basically what Scarab is saying. He's saying, my nature, your nature, really, Scorpio, your nature is to rebirth, renew every day. He would come up and bring the sun up every day. That's the myth. When Ra set in the evening, Kefra would bring up the sun in the morning. That was the cycle. They depended on each other because this is his nature, renewal, renewal, renewal. So I think the key here is you're not using that concept, your true nature. So dig into your true nature of transformation and renewal. We'll turn him upright. Let's get some clarification on the Gemini. I'm really seriously curious about that. So you received the Lotus in reverse. This is the 16th of the Cartouche, and this is about peace, tranquility, emotional balance, and spirituality. And you got it in reverse as it relates to this Geminian energy here. I think it's not a Gemini. I think this is you at odds with yourself over the commitment that you've made, and you're feeling, again, grasping at those reins to get control back, not remembering your nature, that you renew every day, that you change. Transformation is constant. It's your nature. It's Pluto's nature. So you're just forgetting. I think you've lost, God, I sound like a broken record, but you've lost touch with who you are. You need to reconnect. You need to reconnect with both sides of yourself. I feel you're at odds with yourself, with the person who put himself out there with hope and with trust, and the person who desperately wants to get control back, which is a Scorpio thing. And that takes going within, meditation, reconnecting those halves of yourself, those parts, the part that's saying, but I want to give everything, but I also give a shit what people think, and God, I got to control what they think. So tranquility, peace, spirituality, going within is going to be the answer. And same with this unhappiness here, this seeming loss of control and this seeming unhappiness. Remember your nature of renewal. And one more on here. Let's find out what's going on with abundance in reverse. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Yours is a little bit long. But you're just so interesting. All right, Set. This is like the tower or the devil in this set. Poor Set is like Set's the bad guy in the Cartouche. Basically, he's Osiris's brother, and I guess over jealousy, kind of like Cain and Abel. Stories told time and time again throughout the ages. He's jealous, so he cuts him up, kills him, cuts him up in a million pieces, and spreads them all over Upper and Lower Egypt, except for his dick. Anyway, you got Set, and Set basically means delays, obstacles. And I really think that these delays and these obstacles have to do with you cutting off from your true nature. I mean, we'll get Runic advice on this as well, but with you denying your true nature and realizing that happiness is change, you have to understand that that's change. Things change. You renew every day. We give wholeheartedly, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and there's an element of chaos with that you don't like, but you have to reintegrate your halves. If you don't, then that's what the abundance backwards going to be. It's set is telling you it's obstacles, and those obstacles always have to do. Obstacles like that are mental. Remember, first Kemetic principle, mentalism, all is mind. And if you stay here too long, feeling you need to grapple, and get control back, and not trust in your own abilities, and trust in the nature of things, right? The flow of things, cause and effect. Then set will always be an obstacle for you. I mean, it's a Saturnian thing, like Saturn. It's yep, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. If you don't believe you can do that, then you definitely can't do that. So let set be a warning here. The lack of abundance and the lack of happiness and this fear of loss of control is completely in your minds, and you can meditate through it. That Lotus is telling us that. Let's get a rune, and then I'll shut up because I'm way over time with you. I'm sorry, Scorp. Let's clarify on Set. I think that's all we need to know. Boy, here's our walls again. The rune of movement. Sometimes it's unexpected movement. Sometimes it's moving house unexpectedly. You got it upright, which usually means movement when it's expected, a peaceful movement, a good movement. It could be travel, but I think what we're really talking about here is you moving. I think there's some kind of chance that you've taken, and you're sitting in here and you're worried about it. That worry is producing obstacles for you, or perceived obstacles in the way of Set. But it's happening regardless. Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, Major Arcana, and Set. I think regardless of the obstacles you try to put in front of it to avoid your happiness, it's going to happen. There's a movement that's going to happen, whether it's a shift in your mindset to trust again and reconnect with your spirituality, or whether it is a physical move that needs to happen to bring this to fruition again, to bring this to fruition. Because it's already here. It's going to happen whether you work against it or not. So don't work against it. Trust. Believe. You did the right thing here. This is upright. This was not a mistake. If it were reverse, it would be hasty. You'd be like, oh, maybe you rushed in too fast. But no, upright. It means it's right. This is all you getting in the way of yourself. So don't let Set win. No obstacles. No questioning. Get reacquainted with both sides of yourself. Do it through meditation, spirituality. Remember your true nature. I will shut up now. If you guys would, this is very general. So if you guys would like a personal reading, please by all means email me. It's memes@hotmail.com. You can find that in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful first 2 weeks of February, and I will talk to you. If I don't talk to you sooner, I will talk to you at the middle of the month. You guys take care.